See if I can.
Alright, the class is called Creative Music 101. The objective of the class is to create 12 songs that make up an album, or one 12-song album, and create 2 pieces of album artwork. It could be anything, to be awesome. And tools we will use is GarageBand to record, which comes standard on all Mac computers.
And so the innovation lab is, okay, let's do that. Let's find out what you want to be when you grow up, and let's facilitate that. But let's facilitate it in a way that we're doing the notice, dream, connect, do, so that if for some reason you change your passion or you change your career path, you've got this process just built in so that you can change it. So yeah, the innovation lab is it's a safe place for us to perfect this natural learning process.
I noticed from my life that my son has grown in the wrong direction.
That people are stressed. Everybody is stressed. People are doing so much. People are doing what other people think they should be doing.
When I noticed that he was moving from this, being very creative and exploring when he was young, to being very closed and being very concerned about memorizing things and what I consider to be, it just seemed to be the opposite direction of where he needed to go.
I imagine teachers and students and career people can't wait to get up and go.
So then I started to dream, and I started to think, well, there's got to be a different way. We've got to find other spaces for a kid.
I connected to people that I would have never connected to before, and I learned a ton of things about how to make this happen, how to make some change happen to where people are doing what they're passionate about.
Keep me going. They make me realize that other people are thinking the same things and realizing the same things, and that's important to me. So the connections have been great.
And the do is we're doing the lab.
I first noticed permaculture on a camping trip with my mentor Patrick, and we were observing patterns in nature and trying to connect them to things that we could build in our permaculture area to make it more efficient.
I noticed that I really liked the game of soccer, and I started noticing I wanted to play. I needed to play.
I just noticed that a lot of people don't realize that slavery still exists. Like, I was talking to a kid in my math class a couple years ago, and he didn't realize that slavery didn't stop with the Civil War way back in the day. So I thought that was a not good thing that people don't realize that
Rocky Mountain National Park, a lot of trees are being killed off by bark beetles. We've actually got 2 varieties up there.
In 2007, I went to Jamaica for a mission trip, Montego Bay, and I noticed that there's a lot of people all around the world, not just in Jamaica and not just in the US, that need help in general. Like, there's enough food that's wasted in the US, no one should be going hungry.
What I noticed is that the way the school system works doesn't really work for me personally. A lot of times in my classes, like, the teachers get to the point of the class in the first 20 or 30 minutes and spend an hour just going in depth of it when I understand it right away. And I feel like I waste that hour just listening and going through the motions of the class and just doing busy work.
I noticed that I don't have a passion and everyone around me does.
Well, I noticed that I was very into photography, and I really loved how you could take photos that had emotion and different meanings to them, and you can make it.
I noticed how I used to be afraid of tornadoes, and I wanted to learn more about them.
And after that camping trip, I just started dreaming of these patterns that I could implement all over the place and go to different parts of the world where the patterns are crazier and more efficient. And I just started thinking in a permaculture sense about everything that I did in my life.
I needed to play, and that passion of wanting to play, just I started to dream about going and becoming a great
So
star.
I just kind of thought, like, at the very least we could educate people about it, and if we can at least raise awareness about it, then it might help to kind of combat the traffickers.
We're all thinking about how we could maybe distribute the bark beetle's predators.
Just started dreaming of smarter ways to use what we have.
So my dream is that there'll be a system, like basically the innovation lab, where there'll be no boundaries. I can like learn what I want to learn, and my dream colleges will still accept me and like want me because of it, and I can like specialize what I
It's
want.
just something that I really think I need. I'm just going on the path that everyone else is, taking the same math classes, going through English, just all the same things. And I feel that if I had that one thing that like is my drive and what I want to do for the future, then I can make a difference in something that I do. I just need to go for what I want rather than what everyone else wants me to do. And like, my dream would just be to figure that
Maybe
out.
become a photojournalist or just do photo for a living or art, for example. So
I dreamed myself being a storm chaser, like setting up probes and all that.
And then I started really connecting to permaculture when me and Patrick started to sit down and really set some guidelines for my course and what I wanted to do. Yeah, I have a blog that I kind of put some of my ideas down onto, and yeah, I also have like some writings that I've done for my mentor Patrick and stuff like that. So in Africa they have permaculture convergences from people all over the world, and my mentor Patrick, he went to one 2 years ago and came back and really had a great time, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to go to the one this year in Jordan, so we've had some thoughts about trying to get me there, and I think that would really be cool, so we're just trying to figure out some of the logistics for
For
that.
the last about year and a half, I've been working with a teacher outside of school on working on my composition.
I started connecting to videos I've seen. I started watching videos and looking at other players
I've been
play.
talking to Carmen Kamrath and Chris Alsam about how to educate people in the community about that sort of
Then we
thing.
connected with Ryan Bray, who's actually my cousin and part of the Canadian Forest Service. Yeah, he lives in Canada.
Last year I got connected with Miss Hardy and was inspired to make a class called Global Connections. I got to talk to some people from Cape Town, Uganda, a lot of people from my church, and such have inspired me
I'm
to...
really excited. I'm going to try to get connected with students that go to these colleges and like are majoring in what I want to major in, which is like pre-med physical therapy, and talking to them, like saying, hey, I'm doing this in the innovation lab, is this okay? Is like what I'm doing now going to get me?
I have a friend that lives in Loveland right now. He's actually a photographer. He photographs his wife's artwork and stuff for the city.
I connected Reed Timmer and Josh Warman.
I started working and putting out the physical labor to make something that I'm proud of and that I think is permaculture.
Over this span of time, I have written 3 songs, 2 for string orchestra and 1 for concert band.
Started, using some of their moves, and then I joined club and the high school soccer teams here. I started playing with them.
We're going to try to start some sort of awareness campaign.
Designed actually a model rocket that could be shot up, and it would and it had a special tube in it that would distribute seeds. We tried it on seeds because we couldn't get our hands on any of
In
this.
this class, I've helped other people find their specific field of help or missions that they want to focus on. Some people are doing projects on human trafficking. Some are doing projects on homelessness. I started a blog, and I've written about global connections and culture collaborations, how we can find a way to combine our knowledge instead of having it clash, one society overrunning the other.
To Lucas, talking to Peter, all the kids in the lab with their passions, it really has wanted me to have that so much more. And I think if I create a blog or read more books about it, maybe I can figure out what that really is for me.
And I am actually taking a Photo 2 class right now, and to go on with that, I'm going to be taking AP Photo and the AP Studio Art, so I can get into that when I
Started watching Discovery Channel, like when I was sick and lying in bed.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my drum track.
Yeah, I didn't know you were talking about any.